Tonight, shocking developments have been confirmed in the foreign exchange world. The Iraqi dinar, long a subject of silent speculation and cautious observation, is now at the center of a major financial alert. Holders of dinar assets, pay very close attention. The exchange rate has experienced a sharp and unexpected upward movement, a move that could profoundly impact both short-term liquidity and long-term investment strategies. This is not rumor or conjecture. This update is based on confirmed, real-time data, and while today's movement is substantial, these conditions remain subject to change. Viewers should remain alert and consult trusted professional advisors before making any financial decisions. In the past hour, market watchers reported that the IQD, the Iraqi dinar, spiked dramatically against major currencies. Trading desks in global financial hubs, including Dubai, Istanbul, and London, registered an abrupt jump. That move caught many by surprise, not just because of its magnitude, but because it defied expectations of a gradual adjustment. For months, analysts had anticipated a slow and steady appreciation, perhaps a fraction of a percent per week, as the Iraqi economy continued its recovery trajectory. What we are seeing now, however, is a much faster shift in value that demands immediate attention. This is happening at a time when Iraq is navigating delicate political dynamics and progressing on key economic reforms, backed by international lenders and observers. What's suddenly different is that liquidity in the breadth of the market has compressed and then surged, prompting stronger demand for IQD from certain institutional players. Demand appears rooted not just in speculation but in renewed confidence. Some traders are reacting to recent budget signals, remarks from Baghdad concerning fiscal discipline, and preliminary indications that broader structural reforms may be accelerating behind the scenes. Those signals may already be influencing sentiment in high-volume FX corridors. For individual dinar holders, whether private investors, diaspora individuals holding dinar, or business people engaged in cross-border trade, tonight's update is a wake-up call. If you have been monitoring the dinar's value for months, you'll recognize this is not a typical day. Depending on your exposure, your holdings may have increased in local currency terms or in terms of USD equivalent value. In either case, your financial position may be changing in ways that demand action. If you are considering converting your IQD holdings now, you must be aware of two critical factors. First, liquidity channels may be shifting quickly. Some currency exchanges and platforms may impose tighter spreads or limit volume as they recalibrate to this new volatility. Acting now might produce a significantly different outcome than waiting. Even hours from now, spreads could widen or trading might become restricted. Second, that volatility cuts both ways. Just as rapidly as this upward movement occurred, a reversal could follow. Markets do not move in isolation, and if global risk sentiment shifts or if emerging news from Baghdad alters expectations, the dinar's value could correct sharply. We are reporting that official monetary authorities in Iraq have not yet issued comment on today's dramatic move. No public statement has arrived confirming that the central bank has intervened or intends to do so, nor have other government entities acknowledged any extraordinary measures. That silence could suggest either confidence in the currency's current stability or cause concern that internal policy coordination has not yet caught up. Given the stakes, we anticipate a central bank or government statement could follow in the coming hours, or at most tomorrow morning, as institutions work to stabilize markets and manage perceptions. Regardless of what happens next, this development is a clear inflection point in the long-term narrative around the Iraqi dinar. For years, dinar holders have depended on projected budgets, oil revenue forecasts, political stability, debt negotiations, and IMF talks. Now there is tangible movement. While no one should assume this spells a permanent upward trend, the fact that such a movement has occurred so quickly is newsworthy and potentially meaningful for the broader FX community. We urge every individual watching who holds dinar currency, either in physical form or electronically, to take several actions immediately. First, review your active positions. Whether you hold dinar for speculative purposes, for future trade needs, or simply as a long-term store of value, you now face a shifting playing field. Second, reach out promptly to your financial advisor or your exchange service to understand what current rates, spreads, and transaction limits exist. Third, Be ready to act, but do not act impulsively. Have a plan. If today's rate meets or exceeds your expectations, consider locking in gains, but have contingency plans if the market swings back. Markets are watching, and in recent minutes, trading volume reports indicate a sudden spike in both real-time order flow and bilateral trades denominated in IQD. Anecdotal evidence from market participants in Dubai and Istanbul suggests that some traders are executing high-volume conversions, possibly driven by corporate hedging needs or by arbitrage flows seeking to leverage the diverging sentiment between local and offshore markets. Given this activity, pricing benchmarks could start updating more frequently. That may influence automatic quoting systems, online trading platforms, and reporting agencies that track currency pair movements. Retail platforms that rely on aggregated mid-market pricing may lag behind actual trade levels, so users may encounter discrepancies between published rates and what is achievable in real trades. But let us emphasize, this update, while dramatic, is fragile. FX markets are inherently reactive. A single policy pronouncement, an official comment from the Central Bank of Iraq, or a shift in global risk appetite could reverse or amplify the movement. For that reason, our tone remains urgent and professional. Dinar holders must treat this moment with seriousness, not optimism or complacency. Indeed, speculation abounds. Some analysts are interpreting today's move as confirmation that planned IMF discussions, or earlier adjustments in oil export agreements, are gaining traction. Others caution that this could be a short-lived technical rally, or even the result of speculative positioning. The truth likely lies somewhere in between. We must await firm data, documents, audits, budget statements, or speeches from officials to provide clarity. In the meantime, here is what you can and should do. Maintain close observation of currency platforms for live rate shifts. If you plan to convert your holdings, act swiftly but safely, using reputable intermediaries. If you intend to hold, consider whether the current jump alters your long-term thesis. For example, if you expected a 20% appreciation over the coming year, today's 3 to 5% spike may change your strategy. Rebalance accordingly. And regardless of your decision, document it. Keep records of when you checked the rate, what the indicative number was, and how you decided. Markets can move quickly, and clarity in your own financial planning can help you weather volatility. Whatever comes next, tonight's development marks a turning point. Few expected such a sharp move, and its causes remain partly opaque. But for dinar holders, this is not the time to ignore market signals. This is the time to listen, to analyze, and to respond, not with panic, but with precision. We will continue monitoring developments, including any statements from the Central Bank of Iraq, budgetary announcements from Baghdad, IMF-related news, or shifts in oil export forecasts. Should any of those break through, viewers will hear about it immediately. Until then, stay alert, stay guided by real data, and stay measured in your response. Let us close by acknowledging the serious responsibility you bear as investors. Holding a currency like the Iraqi dinar requires attention, especially when surprises emerge. Tonight's move should be a gateway to heightened awareness, not speculation. Let us hope that tomorrow brings clarity. In the meantime, this alert stands as your anchor. Urgent, professional, and rooted in confirmed developments, but always subject to change. Remember, nothing in financial markets is ever final. Rates can reverse as quickly as they spike. But in this moment, the dinar has spoken. The question now is how holders will respond.